What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the DansGolfWorld Show. Action-packed show. Another week full of TGL. Of course, we've got a breakout star, Bryan Campbell, winning the Mexico Open. Full swing. Season 3 is back. I'm all in on it. I've been looking forward to this. And also taking a look at the Cognizant Classic, which I will forever call the Honda Classic. Either way, all that's coming up right here on the DansGolfWorld Show. Welcome back into the show. You're here, you're live, you're in person.
Yep.
You're still looking kind of pasty. I don't know if the sun caught you or not, but we're happy to have you.
Yeah, I know that. I probably sat in the sun probably for a solid half hour.
Well, you know what? It's risky for fair-skinned gentlemen like ourselves.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, Josh, I got a million questions. We'll get into that. But before all of that, there's some breaking news that came across my feed last night. I think I shared it with you guys in our group text for the show. Bryson DeChambeau potentially not re-signing with LIV Golf. He put out a request for something like $280 million, and the PIF is not interested. They passed. They're not looking for, I don't know, to cough up that kind of dough for this guy. Listen, I think he's worth it. I think in terms of name and stardom, he is hands down probably the biggest name in golf right now. But $280 million doesn't do it for him. And then I go back on my feeds this morning and someone else is saying it's been completely debunked. This isn't a contract year for him, that his contract goes through the entire next season, and the earliest we could potentially see him on the PGA Tour would be 2027. So there's a lot of information flying around right now. But $280 million, do you think that number could even be remotely true?
Well, what did he sign for now? Do you know what he's currently at?
The original contract, and again, all this stuff is not public. So it's all speculative, and there's sort of these numbers that float around, but it was always talked that Bryson went for $120 million for his first contract. That was a U.S. Open ago. You know, that was one less major. That is before he became one of the top YouTubers in all of golf YouTube. And, you know, obviously golfing with the president, breaking 50, all this stuff he's done, hitting over his house, which is like a cultural phenomenon. I do think his brand value has gone up without a doubt.
Well, do you think he's a better golfer than Jon Rahm? And how much did Jon Rahm sign for?
Well, there was that talk of around a $400 million number for Jon Rahm. He signed that deal just coming off of his Masters win. You know, do we say Masters holds more value than a U.S. Open win? That's up for dispute. I mean, you know, a major is a major. I mean, I would say maybe U.S. Open over PGA Championship, maybe, but U.S. Open over the Masters in terms of brand value. But here's what I will say. I think Jon Rahm maybe potentially is a better golfer overall. I don't think he holds a candle to Bryson DeChambeau's star power and who he brings out to events, bringing eyeballs to their new TV contract on Fox, bringing people out, buying tickets and showing up on site to watch the golf be played. Maybe that's his number. Maybe he needs to be in the $400 million range. I don't know. Can we get him on the phone? Josh, call up Bryson. Let's get him on the phone here.
Let me call him up. Can you imagine we just call him up? You're like, what's up?
It'd be great. Like my classic line, hey, Bryson, Dan here. Hey,
Bryson,
Dan.
Dan here.
This better not be about salty balls.
Oh, no. But I definitely think he is worth the money. I mean, he draws the crowds. If he gets back on, say he goes to PGA Tour.
Yeah.
Everyone loves him now.
Absolutely.
We're going to talk about it a little bit later in the episode, but if you haven't seen the episode about him on Full Swing.
Yeah.
He could go anywhere. He could go golf on the mini tours and he'll blow it up.
Oh, but listen, he won Paige Sporanic back. You know, and again, we'll get into that Full Swing. That's coming up later on in the show. But it's true. He's evolved the person who he is and has become sort of like the hero of golf.
Mm-hmm.
And so now here's a question that I do throw in with that. We don't know which is true. Was there an offer made? Is his contract not up? Either way, what happens to LIV if they lose a powerhouse name like a Bryson DeChambeau or a Brooks Koepka? Some of the guys who signed on very early, top players within that league. If they go, what happens? I mean, Dustin Johnson has not been playing like the Dustin Johnson we used to know when he was winning majors, when he was number one in the world. We're not seeing that golf come out of him. Phil Mickelson obviously belongs on the Mount Rushmore of golf, in my opinion, is not finishing, in the top 5, top 10 at LIV Golf. What happens to these powerhouse players if LIV Golf loses them?
I think it just slowly just goes away.
Well, and what also happens to their negotiating power with PGA Tour?
They're probably going to be like, we'll buy it. I think
you're saying what's LIV's negotiating power or the individual players?
I would say, LIV's negotiating power is we're sort of trudging through the muck of this never-ending deal where the greatest players in golf are all trying to come back together and play, in the same events together. Their sort of leverage, to me, is drastically diminished if they lose guys like Bryson DeChambeau and Brooks Koepka. I mean, the numbers have to change completely, in my opinion.
Oh, well, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, definitely. Like that's the only thing that LIV has going for them is their big star power, right?
Yeah.
Because it's not eyeballs. Eyeballs are still on PGA. I mean, they're pulling some eyeballs away from PGA. They're obviously the number 2 largest, but they're not competing as far as that goes. They're obviously spending a lot more money. PGA has had to bring up the amount because it's in which that was a whole crock that they just found more money all of a sudden that they could start paying these guys more for winning.
Was there like a briefcase in a closet that they forgot about?
No, it was just all of their coffers were keeping full. They're like, oh wait, I guess we can't just keep raking all the money for ourselves.
Spread it around a hair.
Right. But yeah, I think for sure that based on the numbers of who are the players, how many eyeballs are coming in to LIV, that is what their whole negotiating power is. So like, here's I have a list here and I want you guys to kind of go with this. Who do you think, because I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different players.
Okay.
That are huge on LIV. Can we name all 8 of those?
I'll give it a go.
Okay.
So I would say, of course, we have already listed Bryson.
Yep.
Brooks.
Yep.
Phil.
Yep.
Dustin.
Yep.
Rahm. Joaquin Neiman.
Didn't make the list, but yep.
Shocking. The only one getting a special exemption invitation into like the US Open and things. Okay, so I'm still only at 5. Bubba Watson.
Not on here.
Wow.
Not on the list. Which, you know what? He has not been playing at his best either. Let's see here. Cam Smith.
Yep.
Okay, so we're at 6. I've got 2 more. I got 2 left.
You've got him for sure.
I know I've got them. It's just racking my brain to come up with them. Let's see. Going through the teams.
So this guy, he had a really good year in 2017.
2017. Oh my goodness, that might have thrown me off even more.
Ryder Cup. Think Ryder Cup. Think Masters. 2017 Masters. Let's see if you can pull it from that.
The 2 guys is the 2017, 2018 Masters.
That is true.
Oh my God.
So these 2.
Hey, Gary, could you take us back? And listen, for those of you who are curious, Gary is gone on a ski trip right now. So he's joining us via this beautiful portrait he sent me while he was taking a pre-skiing poop. So I felt that to be very fitting for, him to be how he joins us.
I'm glad to see Josh back.
Oh.
It's super lonely in here when he's gone.
Oh, God.
Oh, no.
The only person I can talk to is that dictator with the comb over.
Oh, stop it.
But wait, did you guys say Gary is on a trip
Yeah.
to potentially find golf in the middle of the winter in
Yes.
Colorado? Couldn't he gone to like Florida like any normal person? Even Josh went to somewhere warm at least. Dan, what are we going to do with that guy?
I wish I knew the answer to that, Gizmo.
What's so funny is, last week on the pod, he's talking about how he was leaving straight from shooting the pod. He was heading to Colorado.
Yeah, that night.
And
bags loaded.
Right away. And he's talking about all these places that he's going to go golf at. And he's going to try and golf here. And
Patrick Reed,
which isn't that the highest elevation?
No, Patrick Reed. Is that one of the players I missed?
Oh, Patrick Reed.
Oh, my God.
Okay, keep going. Keep going. I'm sorry, Patrick.
Yes,
I've got
Patrick
one
Reed
left.
has won it.
I've got one left.
Yes,
Oh,
yes,
Keep
man.
going.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Oh, man.
Sorry.
I thought it was like a Patrick Reed golf course or something. Like,
yeah.
No, so then he's texting the both of us, and he's like talking about how like, hey, I'm gonna go try and play the highest elevation golf course in Colorado. I'm like, it's winter. It's February. Like
he's sending us locations and like, you know, and at some point, like, I don't know, again, we've got this like group text for the show and whatever. And we actually left Josh on us. We didn't want to ruin most of his
He was
trip.
on a cruise. So like,
I couldn't get text anyway.
Exactly.
We didn't want them to go unseen. It's more hurtful. He was going on and on about all the golf courses he's going to play. And here's Rich and I sitting here thinking, we're like, isn't it February in Colorado and you're talking about playing on top of a mountain to play golf?
I literally sent him a text and I was like, what about the snow? like it's February in Colorado. Like
I think he ended up finding some indoor golf, played some simulator golf.
Yeah.
You know, nothing like, you know, making a big golf trip out of playing another simulator.
I saw that he like somehow got a part of a league.
That is such classic Gary fashion. Out of town, brings the clubs, shows up to an indoor place, makes friends with everyone, and he's on a league. Like in a matter of
he
what? Probably
joined the league?
They needed a sub. They're like, well, dude, you could play and you're on our team. And now he's like playing, like doing league play at some random simulator he showed up. Like, that is such classic Gary fashion.
That is a Gary move.
I wonder what he said his handicap was.
Oh,
right? Because
I mean, like, you know, simulator handicap, you know, that could get pretty low. I mean, or do you sandbag?
That's what I'm wondering. Did he sandbag the shit? I'm like, yeah, I'm like minus 13 or plus 13, whatever, you know?
There's nothing that's written down that says like what your handicap is.
There's not an official system that logs your handicap for simulator golf like improper golf. So like my handicap is held through CDGA, the Chicago District Golf Association. That is nationally recognized. You can go in and find me. There is no system like that that like officially ranks indoor golf simulator handicaps.
Because I was thinking like it would be like, not going back to bowling, but it'd be like a bowling league where like whatever league you go to, you just go on usbc.org and you got all your averages from all the leagues you were in and like what your actual like
Taylor Gooch.
No.
Damn it. Keep going. I'm sorry, Josh.
But you would just accumulate your averages together and you get an average, and that you go whatever league you go to. And if you're brand new to it, that's how you.
I think the tough part with the sim golf though is the putting.
Yeah,
it's like a lot of the sim places don't even have putting, and then if you do, the putting's
different too. Like some of them, like, you know, it's 8-foot gimmies, and then outside of that, you putt. Other ones just do an average. They just assume, hey, you're 30 feet from the hole. The make percentage chance on that is this, so you get 1.6 strokes.
Yeah,
so
which
you end
is
up with these
weird.
like fractional strokes, you know, stuff like that. So yeah, I imagine that would make, you know, a handicap system for indoor pretty difficult.
Yeah,
I just do find it hilarious that Gary was so like thinking he was making a golf trip.
Yeah,
like and him and his buddy that are going out there. Like, I wonder what was going on in his buddy's head. Was it like
he's loading like mittens,
right?
You know,
like look, he's dressed in ski gear.
Yeah, and meanwhile Gary's, you know, packing whatever golf shorts.
Right.
You know?
I was like, well, maybe I'll wear pants because you know might get a little chilly.
God,
Oh,
there's
my
one
goodness.
more. I'm stuck on this.
All right,
got
so
one left.
here's the reading behind it. Right, the 2017 Masters champion and Ryder Cup stalwart was among the early European players to join LIV Golf.
Oh, I know Sergio Garcia.
Bing
Thank
bong.
you.
Yep,
Thank
there
you.
go. Yeah.
All right.
So,
I didn't do
nice
too
job.
bad.
No, you did great. You got them all. I mean, that was the only one I kind of helped you with,
Yeah.
you know, but
Yeah.
yeah, that was great.
And I don't know what that one escaped me for the moment, but of course Sergio Garcia. Wow.
But yeah, I mean, to kind of circle back on that, obviously LIV has spent a ton of money to get these stars to go over there.
Yeah.
An absolute ton of money. So them keeping the stars is that's what's going to keep LIV relevant to PGA. If all of those names, those 8 names that leave, they go back to PGA, what does LIV have?
Yeah.
Speakers on a golf course?
Right. I mean, that's it. It's this alternative golf format with mediocre names if they lose from that list.
The stars. Which, again, I love the alternative golf. Like,
I totally do.
I absolutely love LIV. It is so much fun. I think it's the wave of the future. It's not, you know, I mean, Masters is historic, has been around forever, but that's not what the future is.
Right. And I don't think Masters should add music on course. And I don't think, I think each thing is beautiful for what it is.
Yep.
And just like Waste Management, like I love what that is. It's the People's Open. I mean, it's fun. It's wild. The infrastructure they build out there at the TPC Scottsdale, like that is so fun. I don't think that needs to be changed either and be treated like the Masters.
And I don't want Waste Management every week.
True. Very true.
Like I love Waste Management, but I don't want to watch it again and again and again and again.
Yeah.
Well, and I think that's what makes the golf calendar so colorful and fun is you have these events that happen throughout the year or Ryder Cup every other year that are just exciting. Like it's exciting to watch the Waste Management, the iconic 16th hole in the stadium, all that stuff, whatever. Like that is so fun to watch and experience. But again, not every single week.
And then they give you weeks off with tournaments like the Mexico Open.
That is not nice.
Wow.
Like just the shade.
It is so wrong how much I agree with you.
I was in Mexico.
I was sitting here thinking it.
I was in Mexico and I didn't even know about it.
That's one of those, how do I look in this dress statements? It's like, no, of course it's a great tournament. And I think you look great, honey.
I mean, and who was it that I can't even remember his name, the guy that won? Bryan Campbell, right?
Yeah.
How do you think Bryan Campbell feels if he's listening to the pod right now? Like,
And in fact of the matter is he probably is.
Yeah.
And Brian, I right now want to apologize for some of Josh's statements
exactly,
he's made.
you know.
Well, I'm just saying.
I'll text you later.
I was even in the country of the tournament and still nothing.
Nothing.
You were on a cruise though, right?
Yeah, I was on a
really-
7-day cruise.
Like, you were busy doing like the hairy chest contest and, whatever, dance party by the pool.
So they had, the last night was the Sexiest Man contest. That's what you're referring to.
Go on.
Sure.
And
And
it
so
was
what did you do
Gary
with
would
your
be super
trophy?
interested.
No, it was so cold. It was so cold and so windy that no one participated. The lady had to go on the microphone and be like, well, so unfortunately, we have no submissions to join the Sexiest Man contest.
You should have joined because then you would have won just by default.
Yeah, I know.
Well, like
Not that you couldn't have won otherwise.
I did play in other games, though.
Well, again, like we're not getting into full swing yet, but the part of last year's Masters where Neil Shipley was the only amateur to make the cut, so by default he won low amateur.
Yeah.
Like to me, that's that scenario. I'm like, wait, no one's signing up. I'm now by default the sexiest man on this boat. I wouldn't pass that chance up if you paid me.
It was fun though. It was a well needed.
Nice little break.
Yeah.
Little getaway. Little unplugged time.
Oh, definitely unplugged.
You're not on your phone on the boat. You can't. You're in the middle of the ocean or whatever.
The only thing that I was able to do was call in Mexico, and for some reason I was able to iMessage text.
Oh.
I wasn't able to do anything else.
Did you have Wi-Fi?
I was on the free Wi-Fi.
So that's because
yeah.
iMessage goes actually through
Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi. It doesn't
Yeah.
go through. It's not the SMS.
And I wonder if
green
the
bubble.
phone calls you can make were only 2 iPhones, like the over internet call, or could you call non-iPhone
No,
people?
I think through Verizon you could call in Mexico.
And you get that little text message. It's like, welcome to Mexico. You are under this new plan and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's
And
like
when you go in and out of it and you get the text like 4 times.
well, and and I don't know if you remember this, Josh, but back when Rich and I were younger and cell phones, you had to count your minutes, and count your texts.
Yep.
You know,
I had to do that when I first got a phone.
it was like, or like, hey, let me call you on nights and weekends.
Right.
My mom gave me 100 text messages a month, and she realized after a month that that's gonna have to change. So she went right up to like unlimited.
I do wish there was a way like you could, look back on some of those old numbers now. Like these are the texts I used when I first got a phone and I'm using T9. And now on iMessage, I send, 73,000 texts a month or something.
Well, you guys had to use T9. I was the age where the slide.
Oh, yeah, the
keyboard.
sidekick.
Oh, dude, I wanted that phone so bad when I was a kid, and I never got it because it was T-Mobile, and we had T-Mobile at the time. I'm like, oh, that's all I want. And a buddy of mine that I grew up with had one. I'm like, oh,
you were jealousying hard over the sidekick.
What's so funny is I never really wanted the sidekick because I always thought it was huge. And
It was
now I
absolutely-
carry around an iPhone.
It's bigger than that.
It's just
And you're like, no,
gigantic.
give me the big one.
Right?
Like
Yeah.
whatever that's called. That's
No, I had to get the new one because I lost my old whole story, whatever. But I did not go for the Max. It's too big in your pocket.
Side note, did you lose your phone somewhere in your own house?
Yeah, I don't want to really talk about that.
Oh my!
What's going to be great is
God.
you're going to be like vacuuming or like reaching to get the remote and you're going to pull an iPhone out and be like, no way.
So I had a little get together at the house.
Little soiree.
A little soiree. I got a finished basement. We're down there. We got the music going. We're having a good time. And we went and got some pizza, you know, like, and whatever. And like next morning I go up to grab my phone. It's not on my desk or on my little nightstand. I'm like, I wonder where it's at. And so I have an iWatch so I go on my Apple Watch and I go and like make it, because you can
find your phone.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Well, it's not working. And then I'm like, so I open up my iPad. I'm like, where's my phone? It says it's here. Oh, but it says the battery's dead.
Ah.
But it says it's here at the house. Me and my wife looked for it for days, literally for days, and can't find it. I don't know.
I do look forward to the update of when you randomly find it.
Oh my God. 2 years from now.
And it's like on a shelf, just a little above eye line or
sure.
something. Like something. So it's going to be something stupid.
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
Okay.
Barely out of sight. Under a sheet
One,
of paper.
I'm glad I'm able to look at you and hear this story. Two, wasn't your phone playing the music?
Oh, no. My basement's way technologically advanced. No, definitely not.
Hey, internet, play music for a party that I'm having.
I've got
What do you got, an Alexa in that joint?
100%. I've got an
Rich has
Alexa
got
going.
the whole smart home thing going, but he's got lights down his driveway. It's a whole thing.
Did you have the clap on when it came on? The clap on lights?
No, I did not have the clap on lights. But I mean, Alexa basically is clap on lights now. But no, like all my basement is all smart lights. I've got several different scenes set up, like depending, like when
Different
it's movie time.
scenes. What are you doing in your basement?
Well, so like, all right, so like, I have one that's like,
Alexa,
I call it puzzle time.
do romantic movie night.
All the lights are gone. Well, I do. I have movie
Austin
time.
Powers, and the bed starts spinning. Yeah.
Yeah, so I got.
You'll find it. It'll turn up. I can't wait for the update.
I don't. Yeah, hopefully I find it sometime.
Yeah, and you know what? Now that you have the new phone, it doesn't matter when you find it. I hope it's like far enough away where you're like, whose phone is this?
I will 100% always, as soon as I find it, I will right away know. But all right, to quickly move off of this conversation, Josh, what was your favorite part about your trip?
Oh, so when we were we went to 4 different islands, Cozumel in Mexico, Rotan in Honduras, Belize City in Belize, and then Costa Maya in Mexico again. In Cozumel, I went to Lucha Libre.
Nice.
And if you guys don't know,
is that the same as Nacho Libre?
Pretty
Wasn't
much.
that a movie?
So Nacho Libre, it's about Lucha Libre. So it's Mexican wrestling. Great. It was by far my favorite thing.
So Josh.
Dude, you bring your boys there, they would love it. Like they were wrestling, like they would go out of the ring. They took
Go ahead, Rich.
Bring your 10-year-old boys there.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It's awesome.
Oh, it is. I'm not
the
kidding.
entertainment for 10-year-old. Like,
Did they have like the leather masks
Yep.
and that whole thing?
Mhm.
Was Jack Black there?
No.
nah.
But one of the wrestlers, his older brother was in WWE. So that was cool.
Okay.
But like we sat front row because I'm like, I don't care how many little kids are here. We're here first. We're sitting front row.
Is this like a real wrestling league that's like a big deal, or is this just an excursion and they put on this performance for every cruise ship that pulls in?
I was talking to one of the guys that runs the stuff. He says,
what language were you speaking to him in?
English.
Perfect.
And
Do you know Spanish?
I understand it.
Go ahead, just give us a
that's
little.
cool. I wish I knew Spanish.
Come on, just throw something
Hola,
out.
¿cómo está?
Ooh, he is good. What did you just order?
I said,
Oh,
how are you?
Nacho
Hi, how are
Grande.
you? But I'm asking them, like, are these guys, do they travel or are they just here? They're all there. So I think they just wrestle each other for excursions.
it's probably great money.
It probably
You know,
is,
that
man.
Carnival cruise money or whatever.
And these guys were good. And it wasn't like, I was afraid of it being like carnival wrestling where you see the guys just running around the whole time, just chasing after each other. I'm like, no, these guys got out of the ring. They're fighting outside the ring. They took both of Faith's sandals, took them off her feet, and started beating the crap out of each other with them.
They weren't like smelling them and stuff, right?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know
They
how weird
grabbed
this
me.
gets.
They grabbed
This is
me,
for kids. Like,
Okay.
They're not smelling
and he's
sandals.
like, twist his nipple.
That's the other one.
And he's like, twist his nipple.
He
To
told
you?
you to twist the
I
nipple?
twisted a guy's nipple.
Did
Yeah.
he twist yours back?
No, but they tried to
He was
hit me.
disappointed.
So they had the bad guys and the good guys. The bad guys grabbed me. He put me up in a lock hold where like I couldn't move. And of course, I'm playing the part. I love wrestling. I like being involved. So I'm here like this, and the guy's about to smack me with like it was either a sandal or a trash can he found. and the guy stopped him right away. But I was almost about to get knocked out.
I'm imagining this like moment where we time hop forward 30 or 40 years and Josh has his mask and he's ripping a cigarette, getting ready to go back out and do a performance. This is where Josh ended up in life.
I did
He
buy a
is
mask though.
Doing the Nacho Libre, whatever.
I did buy 2 masks there.
Not Nacho Libre.
Whatever.
Lucha Libre, man. Put some respect on the culture.
Please tell me that your fiance got video of this.
She didn't get video of them wrestling, but like them coming in and like my reactions and
Not
stuff.
of you on stage though.
No, but I have pictures.
I
actually should
trust
have put
that
them
in
up
the
there,
edit, with this, when this
I
show
can-
airs, this is
Because
going
you
to
don't
be...
have it for right now, do you?
I could put them up in post.
Definitely. I can't
Thank
wait to see
you.
it.
Now,
All right.
see, now I'm going to
All
watch
right.
this
Now-
show back
Now it's
just
worth
to
it.
see.
Now it's
But
worth
like
it.
I had a fun night at the casino there too. I hit ultimate hold'em, hit quad jacks.
Nice.
Like I have pocket jacks on the rip. You know, with ultimate poker, you have to bet 3 or 4 times.
Yep.
Like at the beginning,
Yep.
I'm like, I'm pushing $40 max bet. Because
Big baller over here.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
well, that's max for a $10 bet. I was just betting table mins, but the what is it? The flop of the river, whatever's first thing with the 3 cards, nothing. But I
Oh.
still had high pair, so I'm like, as long as there's not 2 pair, I'm good.
Yep.
The flop comes,
4th Street.
yeah,
Card number 4,
four,
for those at home.
4 and 5, boom, double jacks. I'm like, quads.
Oh.
And then the next day, I ended up actually going, I think I was plus like 100, 200 after that, after losing a bunch off blackjack. Next day, I go play again. You know, you think you're going to do the same thing. Nope. I lose
where they get
almost,
That's
I
where they
lose
get
almost
ya.
$400 that day. I get it back up to 225 or something like that. Then I'm going later that night and I'm playing again, lose 100 right out the rep. I'm like, I'm done. I'm done with this. I'm going to go play 3-card. Like I like playing 3-card poker. In 3-card poker, probably 4 hands in, hit straight flush. I won all that money back and
Nice.
some. And then I was hitting stupid stuff. Like I probably had 3, 4, 5 hands where it was either a straight or
Hey,
a
Rich.
flush.
Are we beating Josh up after the show and robbing him of all his
Right?
casino
All I'm
winnings?
thinking is, Jesus, we got starving kids in Africa, and he's over here blowing $500 a hand.
Yeah.
Like,
Doing these $10 table mins.
You know?
I'm a menace in a casino. I have a problem.
There, you know, speaking of winning and losing money, I do have some pretty devastating news I want to get into. But before we get there, is there anything else on the live golf topic before we move on to what I
what a
have?
terrible segue. Like,
Yeah.
I have devastating news
Yeah.
to tell you.
Yeah.
But can we talk about live golf
Yeah,
for a little
just want
longer?
to double check.
Like, just
That's sort of like the nightly news. Like there might be something in your dinner that's killing you coming up at 10. You're like, why
Right.
don't you just tell us now?
I haven't
Yeah.
eaten dinner
Yeah,
yet.
well, you were my kids are like spoon shoveling dinner in.
Do you want the good news or the bad news?
Right.
Coming up at 10. Anything else on live before we go? Okay.
I mean, I did have more stuff, but now I
No,
can't.
that's fine. That's
I
fine.
can't.
We'll get to this.
All right.
All right.
No.
So please, let's hang on live before we get to this
It's great to see you in the
devastating
studio.
news. It really is great. So please, that was just a tease. That's what that was.
I'm dying here. I'm
I-
dying. I'm dying.
You'll be fine. What else did you have?
It's
It's
now
insignificant.
now it's been built up so big. Like it absolutely makes no sense at all to talk about this. Just go on to your big news because like it's-
Keegan Bradley shaved off the mustache.
Oh no.
It's gone. I'm tuning into TGL. The power stash is gone. I was just asking him about this about 2 weeks ago. You know, getting some frame of reference on this thing and how he feels about it.
I literally have the TGL book open right here.
Yes.
To the page.
Yes.
So that I could talk about that.
Wow.
I'm not gonna lie. Like I was so devastated that he shaved it off.
And so I wouldn't forget, I wrote devastating news on my sheets here, my notes for the show.
Oh man.
I'm still thinking about rocking the power stash this summer.
You know what? Here's the thing. I thought that was going to carry us through the Ryder Cup. I thought that's what that
100.
mustache was for.
100.
Yeah.
And, you know, whether, you know, at the time of the win, it's like shave it off or something. I don't know. I thought there was going to be not just like show up one week and it's gone. Like, what?
Did he say something in the interviews?
I thought
I've heard nothing.
I heard someone. It could have just been on social media, but I heard someone say something like, oh, he cut it off for superstitious reasons because they need to get a win.
I heard something like that.
No,
I don't know.
I'm not on board with that. Whether that's his reasoning or not, I'm not on board with that reasoning.
You should grow the power stash.
I don't know that I could execute it in the way that Keegan Bradley did. So then I wonder, is there any point to ever try it again in my life?
Are you a part of the Red Beard Club?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
When I let it fly, it gets pretty red.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are we all red beards?
Yep.
Josh is a red beard.
You're red beard too. Oh yeah, you got red going on. Yeah.
Look, his skin's brighter than a sheet of paper. Of course, he's got a red beard.
It's fair.
Post
the only guy that goes to Mexico and comes back whiter than he was when he left.
Well, I think that same thing I did like coming back from Fort Myers. We were down there for like 10 days and I came back with 0 tan. And whatever. It's
we did
fine.
some good golf though.
We did.
And this shirt's from the golf that we were golfing.
That's proof.
Yeah,
so if anybody at home didn't believe us, there's your proof right there.
I went there, right? The Fort, 1970.
It's proof that we actually golf.
That's true.
Yeah.
Right.
So are we on TGL now? Is that where we're at?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm also looking forward to this summer and 4 of us golfing a bunch and getting some good outings going.
Well, if you could like wave a magic wand and improve one single part of your golf game, what part would you love for that to change? What do you think?
Well, I always say I'm good at half of golf.
Yeah.
The drinking half.
Thank you.
So pretty much pick any part of the other half.
And, so just the other half.
If I could wave a magic wand and fix half of golf, that would be that half. Yeah.
All right. There's always this question that gets put out there. If you could either hit every drive 300 yards and it hits the fairway, or one putt every time, what would you pick?
One putt every time.
Oh, one putt.
Easy. It's easy, right?
It's easy.
It's if you are an egotistical maniac, if you pick the driving.
Well, because first off, you're not even driving every hole.
True.
Secondly, I don't have to hit it 300 to make it to the green on my second shot.
Well, yeah, and also if I just guarantee one putt, just hit the green. I don't care where the flag is. I don't care, but just make it in this top golf bucket.
I would actually say I would prefer my iron game to be. I mean, putting one putt would be.
Of
amazing,
course,
but I would take a better iron game than a better long drive.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Every drive, 300, middle of the fairway, or you're guaranteed 2 putt.
Are you talking like
you're
maybe
guaranteed a
gimme?
2-putt.
Like you
putt
it?
Never card more than a 2 putt on a hole.
I think I still pick the 2 putt.
It's pretty powerful.
It's super powerful.
It is.
But you always 2 putt no matter what.
I mean, here's the thing.
Like gimme is still a 2 putt.
Yeah, like it's just logged as 2 strokes. I mean, the give me or you do it.
Now you're saying like
it's like sim golf. You're always 2 strokes for what you hit the green.
Say I go putter off the deck.
Oh, you're like, hey, listen, it's a guaranteed 2 putt.
No, it doesn't count.
2 putt.
Teeing up on a par 5.
No, it doesn't count. It doesn't count. No, it has
once
to be on the
you've
green.
arrived on the green, or
fringe putt doesn't count either.
Fringe?
Ooh.
Oh,
fringe putt does not count.
That's true.
That's
I
a
mean,
good
I
one.
think fringe putting counts as putting, but in this hypothetical world of
I think that's very fair because that's more of a club choice because some people might chip that, some people might putt that, but that's not this sort of fictitious 2 putt scenario.
We're not. Oh, did you see that 2 weeks ago in TGL when from the green he grabbed his chip, he grabbed his wedge?
Yeah, because there was like a little like swoop he had to get around, right?
And he didn't want to deal with it, so he was on the green, and I was like, that you don't see that every day.
Well, I mean, you're not going to damage that green.
That's a very good point. Well, and they also made an interesting point. They said, when you are chipping on, if you are good and you can put spin on the ball, like you get to ignore all of this break in the green and all this undulation because
Great
you
word.
bypass it. So it's like, hey, I only need to read the putt for these last 6 or 8 or 10 feet, wherever I'm going to land the ball and hopefully stop it, which for me, that doesn't work like that. It's like, well, yeah, but what if you blade it 72 yards into a back to the fairway bunker?
Are you allowed in the tour to, if the ball's on the green, can you use?
Yeah.
You're allowed to?
Yeah,
just
because
nobody does?
there's even some holes where there is a bunker in the green. Like the green has a bunker in the middle of it, and you might be on the wrong side of it, and the pin's on the other side. And so it's happened. It's happened a few times.
Green Garden's got one.
But what they show on the tour, the difference is these guys make no marks. Like the green, it's not like they just like, well, someone's gonna have to fix that. It's like there's nothing to fix. Like, it's like bruises the turf slightly. Like it's unbelievable what they could do.
I have a question because I play 2K, PGA 2K. I have a couple. I don't have the newest version. I haven't played the beta yet for the new game.
I think it's officially out now.
Is it?
Yeah.
I want to get it, but I forget what course it is, but I've played it plenty of times, and it's an actual course because it's when I do the career mode, but it's got it's like one green for 2 holes. Like there's 2 different pins.
That happens a lot. Like St. Andrews has a lot of shared greens, and the greens are monstrosities. So it's like, I'm on the green. You're like, well, so like that doesn't mean anything. But yeah, that's always an interesting layout. And it's also like, if you don't know the course, maybe there's like a little bit of a bump and then you see the pin and you're like going that way because this is the hole and that's the green. You're like, oh no, that's not your pin. Yours was way over that way. It's still
I
the
have
same
that happen to
green.
me all the time. When we were playing down here, 'cause especially in courses I've never played before, I'm like, are we hitting that pin? Or are we hitting that pin? Like,
Yeah. Well, especially like if you're not dead center of the fairway and you can kind of see directly how the hole's playing out. Like if you're a little off, and
that's
you're
how
kind
I
of,
always play.
Yeah, I didn't want to say it. That's fair.
Welcome
Again,
to the club.
I'm good at half a golf.
So were you guys tuned in this week for TGL? Were you guys watching?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I watched highlights.
Okay, all right.
Are you talking about last night's TGL or the five TGL?
Well, I'm talking about we had 2 matches Monday, 1 match Tuesday this week. Tony Finau making a big guest appearance. Big Tone.
Came in clutch.
Dude, he's got the energy for TGL.
Yes. See him out there dancing.
Yeah, and then almost got like a shot clock violation.
And they still didn't call timeout. They let him rip it. It was like 3, 2, 1, and he's swinging at 1. Like
they said something on the commentary when they talked the whole time. They're on pretty much live mic. They're like, one of the team, whatever team they were playing, I forgot what was it. It was NY, New York. They were like, you don't get like scared every time that happens, because he was like seconds.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like you're like, no, he's good.
He's just ice flowing through those veins. Doesn't care. I feel like, and here's an early prediction. We're always wrong at these, but season 2 TGL, Tony Finau's on a team.
I think
a permanent member.
I think there might be 4 new teams.
You think Chicago gets one?
So we go from 6 to
10.
Yeah, 6 to 10. I'd love to see that. I think
I would love to do it as well.
Who do you think gets Chicago? Do you think Chicago gets one?
Dallas,
or some
Texas.
Texas home.
You know, would be a good one. It's not a huge market, but a big golfing market. Phoenix.
Oh yeah,
Phoenix.
yeah.
There's so many golf courses down there. Like,
Yeah,
You could do DC
you could. It'd be tough to root for him. Because
or Toronto.
I don't think a DC is golf.
Toronto.
Oh, we're gonna go international.
You can.
You totally can. Wow.
yep. I mean, if we open up international, are we going to start doing European stuff?
They're like, Spain. We're gonna get John Rahm and Sergio Garcia. Wait,
yeah,
to
but
live.
they're part of
Never
live.
mind.
You can't. You got to cut
what
it out.
What about Carolina?
Real quick, live
I like the
separation.
Carolina idea.
We saw Brooks Koepka out there walking around last night.
Yeah.
Crazy.
There's a shot. Yes, this one here. I'm so glad you grabbed that one. Made me realize, oh my God, Brooks Koepka would be so fun to watch. He's intense. The dude has all of the dog in him. He's a blast to watch. He's got all the personality. It made me realize how much we're missing without the potential of these guys, particularly Brooks Koepka, obviously Bryson DeChambeau.
But even bringing a Phil Mickelson, like he's got that charisma.
And the trash talking from Phil. Oh my God.
Him telling people wrong distances, like when he's got his, I said meters. Sorry, bud.
Do you want to know my take on this?
Go ahead.
It's not only that he's there, he's on the course.
Yeah.
He's with the PGA players, like having fun. Like look at that. Look at all those teeth. Like come on.
Oh my God.
Look at all those
come on.
Yeah, he's smiling
Like-
back to his molars.
Like you haven't seen him smile like that since 2016 or something. Like
Yeah.
come
Well,
on.
I'm sure when he got his payday from Liv, he was
He
got that.
grinned.
He probably had smiling all
Like,
those
He'd be
teeth.
smirked.
Like he looks like he is enjoying his time.
Yeah.
It's not like he went there, oh, let me go check it out. Let me go sit in the crowd and just have someone come and interview me like for 5 seconds. But he's out there enjoying time, taking it all in.
Yeah, he's not like, sitting back row in the top level.
No.
No. He's marching around that green with Max Homa like he owns the place.
I'm telling you, I bet you like 3 out of the 8 live players by next year or 2026, because that's when they could play if they relegate back, right?
Yeah,
I
potentially.
bet
Depending on which tweet you want to believe.
Right.
I bet you 3 of them move, and he's one of them.
See, I don't know, because I don't know. So Brooks, according to this, $130 million signing plus $11.57 million from ranking 5th on the money list. So we're at $150 million roughly, right? That's a lot of money.
That's more than the top earning PGA Tour player has ever made in their entire career.
Correct. So that's the thing, is like Liv's got that money.
But was it Full Swing season 2 or at some point, I don't remember, but
Still haven't watched it.
Where Brooks made a comment of something like, if I wasn't injured at the time the offer came through, I don't know if I would have accepted it.
That was season 1.
That was season 1. Thank you, Josh. You're like our records keeper.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's when he was talking about why he did it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a feeling, well, doesn't it get to the point where like they have so much money they just want to play?
I don't know. I don't know.
Do you think
I don't know how to answer that question because I've never been in that predicament.
Right. I've got $130 million in the bank, and wait, they're ready to double my bank account. And so.
Well, right. Because he probably had, I don't know, more than 10 when he got there, more than 20 when he got there, maybe $50 million in his career and sponsorships. He's been a Nike guy, won multiple majors, some majors back to back. Like the guy had a hell of a career. And now you're going to pile a mountain of money that's potentially 3-4xing what he's ever earned in his life. I don't know. Do you go, yeah, but another mountain would be cool too? Or do you say, I don't know, one mountain's enough? I have no idea. I've never had a mountain.
Do I pass down 2 mountains to my kids? Do I pass down 3 mountains to my kids? Like,
yeah, are we naming a hospital after me? Like, where does this go? I don't know.
Yeah, it's a tough call.
But I would love to see Koepka out there.
I would love to see Bryson out there.
Yes, like Phil, Dustin Johnson. Remember, we saw him in the Grand Horvat, Phil Mickelson versus Dustin Johnson and his brother Austin Johnson. Dustin Johnson's funny. Dude is funny. He doesn't give a flying anything about anything. Dude, he would be killer. These Dustin Johnson comments being thrown in there.
So here's the question. Like, as we're talking this all through, it's almost like Liv was picking not just quality of golf, but also personalities.
Yeah. Well, and like somebody said, that's a lot of the reason that the PGA Tour fell flat is because they took a lot of the villains. Patrick Reed was a villain. There was all that.
Bryson DeChambeau was a villain.
Total villain.
Brooks Koepka could have been a villain.
Right. Even Phil Mickelson was a villain. You know what I mean? He was like the counter anti-Tiger. Thank you.
Brooks
I want to get a
was
shirt.
the anti-Rory.
He's totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so now when you kind of zap all of this personality, which is very interesting, they're like, hey, obviously these guys are all the best in the world. They're all the best in the world. How about we take the biggest personalities? Like, what do you pick? Do you pick the guy who's like most strokes gained from 100 yards in? Like, that's how you pick? Like, I
mean, it's like when we look at the lineup for TGL.
Yeah.
Between all 6 teams. So 6 times 4, that's how many players you got in the team.
And who can do that, man?
Right. And then you're also adding like Tony coming out because they have different, obligations and stuff like that. Now, the stroke level difference between all of them is so minute.
Yeah.
So minute. Like,
well, and also because this format is not technically standard, regular, timeless golf, you see guys like Shane Lowry. Shane Lowry's a killer player. What is he, like number 41 in the world or something like that? But he can be a superstar out there if he makes the right shot at the right time for his team on this hole. And so it's not completely 100% about, the top 20, the 24 players on TGL need to be the top 24 players in world golf rankings.
Well, you think about Min Woo. He has been chipping lights out.
But what does he call himself? He's got that nickname. What is it? Oh, not like the chip doctor or something.
Chip Goddard or something.
Yeah, what is it? It's such.
Let me cook.
Yeah, but he's got a name for his like chipping thing. I forgot it already. God, he suck.
He don't call it the tie spinner, does he? Because that's a thing, ain't it?
It is a thing, and nobody uses it on the PGA Tour, but every YouTube golfer seems to want to master it for no reason at all. I have no idea why. Yeah, I look forward to the future, not only of golf, of TGL, and bringing in more teams, more characters. I don't know. I think
Tony was great.
So good.
So good.
Give me more Tony. I'm almost like, I've been down there a ton, a lot of weeks back to back, a lot of matches. And I really felt like, man, I was missing out by not being in-house for the Tony Finau week. It was a little tough.
And how about last night's TGL when the Bay got a 3-point shot?
Yeah. So how did that come about?
So they were playing Tiger's team.
Jupiter.
They were playing Jupiter. Jupiter threw a hammer early because they had a good shot. They threw a hammer early.
Yeah.
Then out of nowhere, the Bay comes with a great shot after that. They were able to throw a second hammer.
Oh, rehammer.
They rehammered it. So because of the rehammer, then they ended up winning the hole after they won the hole. So they went from 3 points. So I think it was like it was 2-1. Jupiter was trying to come back because they were down a point. They were trying to come back. That's why they threw the early hammer.
Because right now playoffs are on the line. It matters. Not only just the wins, but points overall. Any point you can get in goes towards your playoff standings.
And the Bay, who have been playing lights out with all of that chipping, they have
only undefeated team. They are the only undefeated team
with Wyndham Clark.
Yeah.
And I think, don't quote me on this, but I think they have the most putting yards as well.
Ooh.
Like they're putting from the farthest out of anybody. Not to mention the chipping that he's been, Minwoo's been lights out on.
Well, and plus Ludwig is on fire. Didn't he just win a tournament a couple weeks ago?
He won the Genesis.
Yeah.
Dude, that dude's a stud and a half. I mean, literally looks like a chemistry lab were to formulate the most optimal looking human being who's one of the best at golf on the planet. It would 3D print out Ludwig Oberg. Like that's what would come out of the science lab if you could craft the optimal human being on this planet. That's my opinion. And I say that without any weirdness or anything else. I don't know.
Oh, did you see the post interview? I think it was with the Bay. And one of the questions was, hey, I noticed you guys are kind of throwing the hammers in different spots.
Yes.
Not in the 90% spots, but they're throwing it kind of in more of the 60-40 spots.
Yeah, and they're like, shut up. Moving on. Next question, moving on. Revealed the amount of strategy that goes into hammer play.
Yeah.
At least for some teams, for them particularly.
Well, and I've been saying that about LA the entire time.
Yeah.
Like they've been big on the hammers. They've been big on hammers. Then you look at the teams that aren't big on hammers. Jupiter, Boston.
Yeah.
Right. And they're at the very bottom of the leaderboard. I think Boston has finally started in the past couple of rounds kind of throwing some more hammers, but I think it's too little too late for them.
Yeah. Well, it was also interesting. It was our first match seeing no Tiger.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was Jupiter, for whatever reason, these guys, obviously the reason they have 4 people on a three-man team or whatever you want to call it is because they do have schedules. They can't play every single week. That's why Tony Finau was in. So I'm not going to say they sat Tiger, but for whatever reason, Tiger didn't play.
But maybe did they sit Tiger?
Can you? Is that even
he's the captain.
Right. Do you think Tom Kim sends him a text? He's like, hey, Tig, why didn't you?
I'll let you go sit down.
I mean, Tom Kim definitely not.
No.
We already had that whole conversation about he grabbed his pitching wedge and he's like, what?
Shut up. You don't know what he's doing.
Right, exactly.
Tiger Woods.
So there's zero chance they're like, hey, it's your turn to sit.
Yeah.
But does Tiger hey, my back's feeling a little stiff,
Or is it more like, well, because I know you were saying your back was stiff and, Max was already going to be here. And so I don't know,
right. Yeah.
If you're thinking, honey, I was just thinking I was going to golf because we didn't have plans. I don't know.
I mean, do we think that, because looking at the beginning of the year, when the teams all come out, who would have thought that Tiger's and Rory's team would have been the last 2 places?
Here's what I will say. I was shocked that Tiger's team wasn't more stacked.
Fair.
Meaning, Kevin Kisner, he
He's been playing terrible,
Yeah.
but then playing lights out.
Right. But like in general, his professional golf career is not at its peak.
Yeah.
He's a character. Dude's killer on, on Foreplay Pod. I love hearing him over there with those guys. He's just a fun dude, but by no means is he like a lock.
Yeah.
Like Ludwig. You know what I mean? Like you could just count on what that guy's going to do. It's just a guarantee. I mean, there's even been matches and points where Tiger Woods is standing behind Ludwig while he's warming up and just admiring this kid's swing.
Yeah.
Why isn't he not now? Hey, Bay. No, I get him. Pick again. Here, you can have Kisner.
Do we know how they pick the teams?
No, I don't.
They probably drafted.
Was there? That would be interesting to know, actually. I mean, how were the teams formulated?
Like, are they next year? And if they do the expansion cities, like,
They're
are
probably,
they going to have a draft?
I don't know.
It'd be so fun.
I wonder how.
Right?
What,
It'd
it
be
all
the
depends
first
on their
draft I've ever watched.
You know,
man.
Dan, there are other shaped balls. It's not just a white one that's this big, right?
There's another one that's this big.
They don't appear
that way. There's an oblong, a brown oblong one,
or one that's
you
like
know.
this big.
There's
and
a
heavy.
white and black checkered one. You
Oh,
know?
you could get one
Like,
all
are
different
all the
colors.
drafts like this? You're like, yes, they're all like
they're
this.
all awesome.
Yeah.
Even
Yeah,
bowling
but
has
come on.
drafts.
Even bowling has.
Yeah,
How
for
do
their
you
PBA
draft?
league,
Wait, isn't bowling an individual sport?
not the PBA league.
What does that even mean?
PBA
don't
league
know.
is a team of like they usually have 6 people on their roster, but they're normally the 6th person don't play. It's not like this where they're constantly switching in and out. And they play Baker matches, which is like
Don't know what that means
What's
either.
a Baker match?
a Baker match.
We're
is
gonna get so deep here because he keeps saying terms we don't know.
a Baker match is when you have a lineup of 5 bowlers. First bowler bowls the 1st and 6th, second and 7th, then 3rd and 8th, then 4th and 9th, and then your anchor bowls the 5th and 10th.
One of my favorite moments was Atlanta GC.
Come on, that wasn't that bad.
I know.
That wasn't that bad.
It just seemed so fun to do.
All right.
Did you guys see all of the trash Justin Thomas kept talking to Keegan Bradley?
Oh, yeah.
Like every time he would come off the tee, he would like, whatever. He would point to him and be like, yeah, what you want to do is try and drive it to there where I did. Like, it's just...
How did I miss that?
They were quick and he's like walking off and you would see him like, he's still on the tee box while Keegan's heartbeat thing is thumping and he's standing next to him like pointing, like showing him where you want to try and hit the ball. Like he kept doing it to him.
That's like Bob Does Sports or something
Yeah.
like that. Like, Joey Colcott's just like, hey, what you want to do is see that flag over there, just hit it that way.
I feel like Justin Thomas is another person TGL was designed for.
Yes.
Like there are a handful of humans that you can't have this league without.
Now imagine him against Spieth.
Ooh. Spieth would be interesting.
Well,
Because
just-
Spieth isn't such a wildly like colorful character, but he is such an interesting approach to golf and all the Jordan Spieth short game magic and
You put him against his best friend too.
oh yeah.
You seen first episode of Full Swing, first ever episode of them too.
Yeah. Season 1.
Yeah,
These guys out playing practice rounds together, whizzing around in the PJ.
betting.
Like $500 a
1,000.
stroke, 1,000 a stroke.
They
or
were
something.
betting like some stupid on the plane too. They're like betting high card or something.
Yeah.
Like
Have you noticed that the TGL boys are starting to get some gambling going?
No.
So I'm noticing they're starting to, they're not talking about it like
Yeah.
fully like whatever, but like I'm hearing a couple pay the man, a couple of those
Yeah.
little things that are happening. Like
You know what?
I think that should be a part of TGL. How awesome would that be?
Whether I don't even know. Like the secretive part of it makes it hilarious because now all of a sudden there's this like underlying gameplay that ramps up the television product. But I love that. I love that they've found a way to make this competitive golf series more competitive.
Right.
Like there's just another layer of I'm gonna step on your throat.
I wonder if they'll do anything for that. Because don't they win money if they win?
Um,
Well, yeah. It talks about it in somewhere in here. I'll have to look for it, but how much the different
do you think
people
pros
that get paid.
are ever playing side games in conventional golf tournament events.
Well, have you ever heard of Pete Rose?
No.
Oh my God. MLB player should
Did
have
he
been
win a
in-
major?
How do you not know who Pete Rose is?
Oh,
Dude.
we're not talking golf. I was
No.
thinking like a Justin Rose's brother. Like,
No. He will never be in the Hall of Fame. Or did he finally like almost
No.
be on the ballot? No.
Everybody says they should posthumously because he died
Yeah.
recently, but yeah.
He was betting on games.
okay. I feel like what like among other players making cash bets in the locker room, or he was like going to Caesars and
No,
getting tickets.
He was going to Caesars and betting on his team winning. So
Betting on your own team to win, I think, should be the only kind of betting that's acceptable.
all right, I understand, and I used to have that thought process
Okay.
as well.
Fix
But
the way I think about a sport I don't watch.
But when you're a manager of a team,
yeah,
and I'm betting all the money that I'm going to beat this team this week,
yeah.
do I completely blow out my bullpen, blow out everything, and not care about the rest of the season at all because I want to win this week because I put $100,000 on it or something? You know?
Okay.
So
all right.
I understand.
Yeah.
So as far as baseball and stuff goes, I know for sure I don't think there's any side gambling going on at all because it's so taboo because of like Pete Rose and stuff like that.
Now, like in golf, is it like I'm going to blow it out and just hit my farthest drives today? Like, you know what I mean? Like to bet on yourself in golf.
See, like I think part of betting on golf, like in TGL, could be fun. If you make this putt, hey,
Yeah.
the two of us are going to try. I'm going to try and outdrive you. You know,
Yeah.
stuff like that. That's where I think that's what they're currently
That's-
doing.
yeah.
And I think it's
There
fun.
was a cool thing remember the week where I had Gary sit down and we watched it?
Yeah.
There was a live bet on the screen. It was like Rory and Tiger longest drive, and Rory was like
I'd put my money on Rory. Just in that bet. I would have to
he
take
was
Rory.
I think whoever was the over won. So whoever outdrove what I don't remember what
Yeah.
exactly was, but I'm like, oh,
It was
if we
over
would've
under
bet that-
300-yard drive, and they outdrove 300. Is what you're
No, it's who would outdrive each other.
Oh, gotcha.
Like if you were to ask me straight up, kind of a blind bet, I'm picking Rory. Just on a long drive for drive.
I mean, it's what
That's what I'm
Rory
thinking.
and then Bryson. Like, I mean,
Well,
Bryson probably hits farther than Rory, but like,
Yeah. But
Like-
in terms of PGA Tour players, I'm taking Rory. In terms of global golf, I'm taking Bryson.
No, I'll take a Minwoo Wee or
Minwoo Lee,
yeah,
who's got the new record for highest ball speed. I think was at 192, 193 mile an hour ball speed. New
And-
record on TGL.
and wasn't it Tom Kim right after that hit like 180 something, like 188 or 185, like straight up, and Tom like comes walking off with his arms up, or Tim.
I wonder, like when I play simulator golf, I have an additional freedom because the risk is so low.
Mhm.
Like even if I blast one off in the weeds, I'm still hitting off of a mat and it's comfortable and there's no risk. I'm not losing my ball. There's nothing at stake. So I tend to swing a little harder, hit the ball a little farther, like play this sort of next level golf because the risk is so much lower. I wonder if there's any of that with these guys where you're seeing these little bit higher swing speeds and things because there is that sort of freedom that comes from playing a simulator style golf.
For sure.
Yeah.
There's gotta be.
I don't know why I keep bringing up Bob Sports. It's like he's probably in my feed a whole bunch. But I think it was Joey Colcuts, or it was, who's the guy who's really good?
Fat Perez.
Yeah.
Perez.
Perez was like,
Thanks, Fat. Interview. Great moment. Yeah.
Perez was talking about how when you're playing in a scramble, how you actually play so much better.
Yeah.
Because I know that I've got somebody backing up my shot, so I can swing a little freer, swing
Sure.
a little bit harder, swing a little bit truer. I'm not tensed up because I got to make sure I hit the middle of the fairway and have this perfect shot. I can just, grip it and rip it
Yeah.
in a sense,
Well, even like in putting, if I'm playing my own round, listen, I'm by no means a pro. My biggest goal in life is my first putt, get it close enough where someone can say that's good, it's a gimme, or I know I can confidently tap it in. But sometimes that means leaving it a little short. I just want to be right in that comfy zone.
especially if there's like a cliff coming off after the hole or
But
something like
in a
that.
scramble, you don't leave it short. You
No.
always give it that opportunity to go in. Like
Yep.
it is pointless to play that safe golf in a scramble.
I usually just like crush it completely off the green. But,
Just scramble.
That's why, like, I notice when I'm playing, when I play with you guys rather than like my buddies when we do a scramble, I'm more confident hitting because I hit first no matter what usually.
Always.
And I'm more comfortable hitting with you guys than hitting with my buddies because I know I got the backbone.
Yeah.
And I remember we were on the Island Green, par
Hole
5.
10, gold course.
You said you've never seen a ball hit that far on that hole.
Yeah.
Wind was gusting out, and I hit this bomb. It was by far my longest drive I've probably ever hit.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's it. So to that point, there is a freedom that comes sometimes when you're not playing a solo round, your own ball, yada, yada. And we're seeing the swing speeds. We're seeing different stuff happen. I think that's fun too. I think it just brings out this sort of freedom in some of these golfers that, I mean, ultimately creates some incredible shots.
Well, and we're also just seeing a different level of nerves, less nerves from the beginning.
Yeah.
Like, because wasn't he the very first person to hit Tommy Fleetwood?
No, I thought we waited a couple weeks to see Tommy.
Who was?
I don't remember.
Whoever it was, let me see if I can. Who
it's been
was
so long.
It? Right?
Feels like this TGL started like a year ago. There's been so much that's happened, so many rounds. Like,
let's see. I don't remember.
That's a cool little handbook you got there, though.
It's kind of nice, right? They got those in the media center.
That's so good. I absolutely love it.
It's got everyone's picture on there, a little bio of them.
Yeah,
maybe was it Max Homa?
Ooh,
because did Tiger play the first?
Wait, no, I don't think because Tiger was in the interview box week 1.
Yeah, that's right. So
who hit the inaugural drive?
Now I got to look it up.
Yeah, I don't know.
Hold on. Schedule. I got it. Schedule.
Pulling it up. All right. While you're pulling that up, somebody asked if the teams make money on if they win or not. Yes, they do. 6 is 1.5 million. 5, 1.75, 2 million, 2.25, 4.5, and first place is 9 million.
Wow.
So there's $21 million payout for all the different places.
Do you think there's any base salary, or they're all playing just for the prize of the end of the season?
I would say they're all playing for the prize of the end of the season because all 6 teams get paid and they get paid $1.5 million.
Yeah.
So there's a guarantee $1.5 million split up between y'all. So guaranteed. And then if you do good, you get up to 9 million.
I got it.
What do you got?
Who was the first hit?
Ludwig Oberg.
He was the first hit of the whole series?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because first match was NY versus the Bay, and the Bay won, and Ludwig started, and so did Schauffele.
So maybe it was just a clip when Tommy went to go hit the first time.
Yeah. It
was either Tommy or Max Homa. I don't remember. But when they went to go hit the first time, they were so nervous that he took out his earpiece. And he's like, he was so like just out of his element.
Yeah.
You know, he's like, I don't want anybody. He pulls out his earpiece and then he hit his first drive.
Hey, I did notice an improvement they made.
Go on.
They're now wearing clip-on like lavalier mics.
Oh,
so
nice.
smart.
Yeah, early on,
smart.
I think all the audio we were getting was from the earpiece, and it was sort of that boomy, sort of disconnected sound.
Yeah.
I was looking close, and I was like, man, they sound great tonight in these interviews and everything. They all had little clip-on mics, just like a little thing. Hey, this is a cool concept. It's not working this way. What if we try that?
Once again, TGL just moving forward, getting better.
Just week after week.
Every single week.
The flagstick camera. It's been around for a couple weeks now.
It's awesome.
That wasn't on week 1.
And what's fun is like, you don't get to see it every time because sometimes they pull it.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not faced the right way. But I love that they just went for it. Like,
yeah.
You know, let's just put the camera there. I don't care if we sometimes get the shot or sometimes don't. We're at least getting it sometimes, you know?
Was it Shane Lowry said to Kisner, half the guys are reading the putt, a couple of guys are standing around, and Shane Lowry, I think it was him, said something like, yeah, but Kiz, you can't go over and grab the flagstick for these guys, standing there with your hands in your pockets.
Yeah.
Huh? No, I got it. Don't worry.
Again, it's just the lively jaunter, the jocular, I don't know what the word I'm looking for. Just the banter back and forth, you know? Here's a question, is because I haven't seen live the stick.
Yeah.
Does it rotate on its own?
No, I think it pairs the 2 cameras and makes a 360 view. And then
Wait, what do you mean pairs 2 cameras?
So the flagstick has two cameras, one sort of on one side, one on the other side.
Gotcha.
Like a 3D camera, like the GoPro. Yep. It stitches that together and makes a 3D universe, but also does like the GoPro, and it erases the flag stick. So as they're watching the ball come into the hole, it looks like it's floating, no flag stick. Kind of cool.
Yeah. That makes so much more sense. I couldn't figure it out. I thought it was just the one.
Yeah.
Because I noticed the guys, when they're grabbing, they put the stick down and they try and they try and get it lined up.
Yeah.
You know?
Like let's at least get it like the optimal direction to start, but beyond
by the way,
there,
we're not sponsored by Bang, but if you want to, feel free to.
Yeah, or unless Monster wants to come up with a bigger check, that's
I'm fine with that. Actually, it doesn't matter. Just send us a case.
Hurry.
Yeah, I know.
Hurry. Mexico Open. Josh, you were just down there. I know you didn't get a chance to get tickets and be on site because it didn't work out for your schedule. That would be so fun to take a cruise to a PGA Tour event. Just saying.
Well, the tough part is like
it doesn't make sense. The boat's got to stay here for 4 days.
Right.
Like, what do we do?
Plus the boat, you probably can't get off the boat until like 8, 9 o'clock. And then to get to the place,
listen,
it's
nothing
already
about it
probably
makes
already
sense.
packed.
Not an ounce of it makes sense.
And you have to leave early.
But it would be cool. Okay. Let me live in this world.
I wish there was like a golf excursion where you could go play 9 holes or something.
I did that on a cruise when I went to Aruba. We were at the stop long enough, and wife and I rented those little scooter deals, cruised over, found a 9-hole course, rented clubs, played 9 holes, found a tiki bar, had a few drinks, some tacos, yada, yada, got back to the boat in time. It was perfect. So I had an impromptu excursion in Aruba, played some golf.
Did Stacy play as well? Or is she
we both played.
Yeah,
we rented one terrible set of clubs. Like the driver was like caved in. Yeah. It was just looked like somebody just stomped on it. You know, it was a great. Listen, it was golf,
100%,
and so that 100%. Made it awesome.
Did you not use the driver then, and you just like
no? I used it like it was my job. Nothing was going to hold me back from playing to my fullest terrible level. But did Bryan Campbell taking home the win in the Mexico Open? And here is what I will tell you. Though I didn't watch a second of this tournament live.
I did.
We have a new breakout star. What is he, 31 years old, I believe? First win in his career on the PGA Tour. One of my favorite moments. So in this picture here, he's seen here with his wife. And the clip I saw, I think was posted by the PGA Tour on Instagram, and her over off the green. This thing went into a playoff, and you could see she couldn't control herself. She could hardly look. She was just so overwhelmed by the moment. And you saw when they finally come back through, he makes the putt. I mean, the amount.
It was the second overtime, wasn't it? Second playoff hole?
Yeah, I think so. I wouldn't know because, like I said, I didn't watch it. Instagram didn't tell the story for me that way.
Whoever wrote the show notes didn't put that in.
Yeah. And even if you write someone's name wrong, I'll read it. We learned that.
100%.
Her sort of emotional release in that moment just looked so special. I mean, you could tell, obviously, you're a pro golfer, you're married to a pro golfer, the whole family's on this journey, you know, and this dude had an incredible early start to his career. What is he, 4-time All-American? Where did he play?
U of I.
He was a U of I guy, right?
Another
here
one.
From the terribly cold, gross, flat state of Illinois.
I mean, his wife is almost like holding that trophy more than he is.
Yeah, she's letting him. She's like, here, honey, grab that side.
Right.
But
if you look, here's the thing that I think makes it so special.
Yeah.
Is how relatively, I don't want to say poor he's played because that's not the right word. To play at that level, you are an amazing golfer.
Sure.
But the highest overall finish is a 27.
Mm-hmm.
A T27 is the highest PGA tournament finish ever. Almost got played out of the Korn Ferry Tour.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, so it's not like he's a superstar golfer.
Like a Ludwig, who came out of college, was instantly pro.
Right.
He's never not had a PGA Tour card. First Masters, he's he's second place in his first Masters, yada, yada.
I mean, it says recorded some top 25 finishes on the Korn Ferry Tour.
Yes.
Right? So a few top 25s on the Korn Ferry, and then he wins a PGA Tour.
Well, and what I think
tour,
is so fun about that is last year's winner was Jake Knapp. Same story. Jake Knapp down to the Mexico Open. The guy, he was a bouncer at a bar a year and a half prior to that win. I mean, the dude's making hourly wage for probably not a ton and hitting balls all day and working all night. Life-changing moment.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened here. It is a life-changing moment.
How much money did he win? Do we know?
Him?
Yeah.
1.26 mil.
1.26 mil.
That's a ton of money.
Okay. Agent,
That's
Agent getting 10%. You know,
Caddy
Caddy's
getting
getting 10. A lot of these guys, they've got other percents to go out. I know some guys, they'll give small cuts to like their trainers and stuff like that. So, okay. Well, I mean, I would say even if the guy ends up with what, 2/3 of that or something, you know, I don't know what it is.
800K.
Not to mind if he gets
Life-changing.
bonuses from sponsors.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, is Ping paying him, wearing that hat, holding that trophy, having this on our amazing podcast? Like Ping's picking up those eyeballs.
Right. That's the fact of the matter. That win puts him on shows like ours, which is a platform
Right.
Yeah.
that anybody would be honored to be showcased on.
Exactly.
And Ping, we're not going to charge you for it this time, but if you,
Yeah,
you
no.
know, future mentions.
Send us a hat.
Yeah, put it in the box with the case of monsters. It's fine. But, you know, again, this to me circles back to the conversation of the PGA Tour limiting Monday qualifiers, shrinking the field, less PGA Tour cards. You know, on one hand, okay, this is where we speak out of both sides of our mouth, okay? I didn't tune into the Mexico Open. Why? Because all the stars aren't there. At the same time, don't leave the no-names out of it, because once this does happen and we can rewatch it on Instagram, it's so inspiring and we love talking about it.
Like the Jake Knapp one, or Jake Knapp one, however you say it, he was not popular at all. That when he made the video on it, his mom commented on on Facebook.
Did that really happen?
Yeah, remember I said, "Oh, this is his mom."
I forgot all about that.
That's cool.
Holy cow. I forgot I even made that video.
Yeah.
Wow. Way to go. We're up to some good stuff, Josh.
Yeah.
We should stick with this.
You're definitely right on the both sides of our mouth, because like
I know, right?
because PGA made no money, no eyeballs. Like I wonder
Right.
what the actual viewership was from this weekend. Like,
But now all of a
compared-
sudden, Bryan Campbell is a name, just like Jake Knapp is now a name, you know, and so I don't know. I don't know how you balance that. You know, here we are saying it's a tournament nobody watches, but we're so glad it happened so this guy can become a star and make his 1.26 million and yada yada.
everybody likes the underdog story.
I know, it's so fun, but we don't want to tune in and watch it happen. We want to see it on Instagram on Monday.
Yeah.
I don't know. Does that make it worth it? So what is the outcome? Do you shrink the field, limit Monday qualifiers, pack in the stars and try and get more headliner names at more events? Or do you have 36 tour events where guys like Rory and such are not going to play these events? So this guy has a chance to win, because listen, he's not winning at the Genesis. He's not even invited. It's not an opportunity. It's not a chance. He's also not going to.
Genesis is an invite only, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's not on that list.
Right.
He
It
doesn't
never
get the-
will be. Well, now he maybe now he.
It was Jake Knapp. There.
Check the list.
Yeah. Check the list. I don't know.
I don't know. I think you have to have the mix. I don't like limiting the event size for most of the events. Okay, I understand like an invitational, Genesis Invitational, or you know, stuff like that. But I think you keep the list long because they're playing for 4 days. It's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Whether there's 20 people playing Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or 100 people playing, it's still the same event. It doesn't matter. You
Keep
play
the cut line.
Keep the cut line.
Keep the cut line.
Right.
So we have all these people not make
Yes.
the cut.
Yes.
Hey, we can't have 4 more people not make the cut.
Right. That
just
doesn't matter.
This whole event goes to hell.
Right.
If we have 4 more people not make the cut.
But I also feel like you need to figure out some way to make the Mexico, is it the Mexico Cup? What do you call it?
The Mexico Open.
The
Mexico Open.
You've got to figure out a way to keep it relevant,
Yeah.
because having PGA every single weekend is just, it gets to be like baseball. People, I mean, there's some people that watch every single day of baseball.
I'm sure those people exist.
Right. I'm sure the people exist that watch every single day of golf as well. You know, Gary's dad, for example, that been recording it on VHS, right?
Yeah.
So
Probably taped over his wedding to, get the 1998 Honda Classic.
accidentally.
Yeah.
Although he just says the Honda Classic, it's like a random tournament. Like not even like the players, like just like
And it's not even the Honda Classic anymore.
what is it, the Cognizant?
Well, you know what? And I'm so glad you allowed me to bring that up. What happened to the Honda Classic?
I don't know.
This used to be a premier event. we've got wins from Tiger Woods, Rory. That was one of the only times where Rory and Tiger are coming down the stretch head to head. Tiger takes the win, just beating out Rory. Rory comes back the following year and wins. Now it's a sidelined event because there are so many others. These other events have come up. These guys can only put so much in their schedule. So we even have events. Like, I don't think the Mexico Open was ever a headliner. The Honda Classic was a headliner. It was on the Tiger Woods schedule. And that means it is well worth playing. Not anymore. So at the same time, we're even diluting events that used to be big events.
But there's just too many events.
There's too many events. Everybody needs to settle down.
Just like keep the fields bigger.
Yes.
But just less events.
What if there's like 3 tournaments?
Because I am now like all about if Rich was king for the day or whatever. You know?
There's some weekends where there's 2 events going on at the same time. I think like the Barracuda is happening at the same time as the Cognizant. Well, you know, it's like, whatever. I'm going to go hit balls at the range. I'll check on Instagram on Monday.
I mean, why do we think there are so many events? Is it because the individual golf courses are making that much money that they're like, well, I'm going to have a PGA event and get it approved? And
well, I don't know, because like, for example, Olympia Fields has the BMW Classic periodically.
Yes.
It wasn't there in the 2024 season. It was there in the 2023 season. So it's like, so what if a lot of golf courses want PGA Tour events? We can't make it to them all. We'll get to you in like 2 or 3 years. You know, we'll see you later on.
But is that like in college football when you have a big name team playing a small school team and small school team wants to play them because they get so much money because they're playing Alabama and this is East West Virginia Tech? Like, you know, like,
I mean, it also is an owner's dream though, too. Like if you own a golf course and you had the opportunity to
host a PGA.
Of course, I feel like anyone's going to take it.
I wonder how much courses make, because you know the spend has to be
like the
huge,
percentages,
because like to get it to PGA quality, they don't keep it like that all year long.
No, well, here's what's wild. I was playing at Olympia on the North Course where the 2023 BMW Championship was held. A year before I'm playing on the North Course, I was invited out as a guest. There was all this construction going on. And the member who had invited us out is like, oh, yeah, this is all for the PGA Tour tournament.
What kind of construction?
Repaving the paths, expanding bunkers, and just like all kinds of stuff, fixing a bridge. Like there were just crews all over fixing various things to get this thing ready for PGA Tour shape. I mean,
so once they expand a bunker, do they keep it expanded forever, or do they come back in? All right, now our regular members are playing, so they bring it back down.
I would have. Here's my guess, and I don't know. I would say the PGA Tour looked at it and said, you know what? We need this to be a little harder because we're going right into the FedEx Cup. And here's some changes we want to make to your course. We want to extend this bunker, so there's going to be more people hitting into that. We want to do this. We want to clean up these paths. We want, whatever, plumbing and electrical ran to these various places.
I bet Gary knows.
Definitely his dad does. I'll tell you that.
We should give him a call.
Right?
Yeah.
As he's still sitting on the pot, like that's all I think of. As he's sitting there with his big smile on his face,
he's still like taking the same dump,
with his pants around his ankles.
It's just his feet are so numb; they're stumps. they're like at risk of amputation at this point.
Do you know what he's thinking about still though? Fist bumping Tiger Woods.
Oh yeah. Just replaying the video.
I do think this is going to slow show down, but I don't care. I do think we should start adding a few different graphics. Like every time we just go back and listen to all of our podcasts. So like every time somebody says undulation, just keep a running.
It's
ding,
true.
Like just every time we make fun of him about the fist bump, the Tiger Woods,
or every time he brings it up.
Oh, that's even better.
As a side note, and one of the counters we need to keep. How many days are we out till the Masters now? We're getting closer, right? The Masters, I know we were at 50 days last week.
I can look.
Are we down like in mid to low 40s at this point? Because
we're close.
We are getting, speaking of numerical counters.
And do you know what that means too? That's been a year since we started this stuff. The DansGolfWorld Show.
Wow. A year?
Yeah, because we started right after the Masters, didn't we?
Yeah, when we were doing it like on the couch.
Yeah.
43 days.
43 days.
And then another counter. Hey, Gary, have you been to the Masters?
Ooh. Well, I will tell you what, I was getting additionally fired up for the Masters watching season 3 of Full Swing.
Oh my God.
Just dropped yesterday. I stayed up way past my bedtime last night watching it on my phone. And then first thing this morning, like I cram another episode. And I think I'm like 4 episodes in deep. But early on, they cover the Masters. And excuse me, I'm choking on excitement. Here's the one thing I'd like to say. This is actually a big moment for me. Kind of a big announcement, breaking news here on the show. I was featured in this season of Full Swing.
You were featured.
Yeah, I'm actually one of the breakout stars.
I'm hoping I make an appearance in it.
Oh,
You might be able to see Dan gnome-nap me on live video feed.
thank you.
I still can't believe it's been almost a year since I've been here,
Yeah?
and we haven't seen anything happen to this convict. Justice needs to be served.
I wish I would have saw that gnome napping. That would have been the highlight of the Full Swing.
I was fist fighting for that bad boy too. Yeah, I mean,
I don't know the story.
but just the lines to get the gnome, and they run out so quick.
He
And
didn't buy him. He swooped him up. He was walking in the grounds of Augusta National. He just
just find him out in the woods, minding his own business.
Over there
Shot him under my
drinking
shirt.
beers, hitting golf balls, and
So does the little gnome, does he have a nickname? Is it the same guy?
you know
just
what?
in different clothes?
We
Is it
never
like
took the time
is it his-
to make that up.
right. So I mean, we got Gizmo.
Is he like Gizme or like?
I was about to
No.
say Gizme.
I don't know. Mini Giz. I don't know.
No, it's got to be something different. Like, and they
We'll
gotta
get there.
they gotta have 2 names because I have one now.
Well, yeah, of course. Or are they all the same? I don't know. Listen, I want to get back to this big announcement.
All right, big announcement. You are
Th-
featured.
This is
I'm
my,
not believing you.
This is my breakout year.
I don't believe you.
And, we've seen Paige Sporanic. We're seeing Dan Rappaport. We're seeing all these big names. And there's no reason why it took this long to feature me. But it was pretty fun to actually get to watch it play back. Now, the editors did me dirty a few times where they didn't actually show me. You know what I mean? But I was there. Okay. So for example, we look at episode 1, Tiger Woods is talking in the media center, and they zoom in on my colleague, Mr. Bob Herrig.
Love Bob.
And they pan through the crowd. I was actually sitting, and this is no joke, I was sitting just next to where the camera pan started. So I wasn't like on camera, but I was like right there.
You're in spitting distance.
Yeah. So, that was a pretty fun moment to be a part of the show there, even though you don't see me at all. Another pretty fun one. We got to see Bryson at the US Open. All the kids are chanting, Bryson, Bryson. I filmed that, and I was filming him walking down. I was getting pictures. It was the Salty Balls weekend. Again, the camera didn't actually point at me, but I was like right there taking my own pictures on his way down. That was pretty fun. That was pretty cool. There's a few more of those. The Ryder Cup, they cut back to that. And when the guys were up on the second level, shaking the champagne and spraying it everywhere, and they showed a bunch of the press people looking up at him, I was directly next to where the camera was. So again, you don't see me in it per se, but I was right there. I was in the cast. They had us all there.
This is terrible.
I know.
This is absolutely
It's really bad. I know.
really bad.
I know. But
Like not even
Like,
a little
stop.
bad. This is terrible. Like this is like
it's embarrassing.
like this is very embarrassing.
I should be more embarrassed, though I'm not.
This is worse than Gary thinking that Tiger's son,
Yes.
Charlie, is watching him do movements and pick his arm up and commenting.
But I will
This
say,
is worse than that. This is worse than that.
In all seriousness, as of episode 4, no, I have not been in it one bit. But I won't lie.
I totally thought you were serious at first.
I know.
Like,
I'm sorry. I'm terribly sorry.
I hyped him up about it too.
Did you really?
I'm like, yo, we're gonna be
This is
talking about
horrible.
Dan's on Full Swing. He goes, no way. I'll go, yeah.
I'm
Just
like,
wait.
I haven't seen it yet, so I'm looking forward to it.
But dead serious. Here's me laying in bed at like 2:00 in the morning watching, knowing I'm like, I see the Tiger press conference at the Masters. I was like, I was in there. And then like they pan the crowd. I was like, oh, I wonder if they pan by me. And I literally, I'm dragging my phone thing like frame by frame to even see if I'm blurry in the background.
Stacy's sleeping for sure.
Yeah, of course. You know what I mean? And here's me over with my phone brightness all the way up because I want to see if I'm in there.
It would be like this. He'd be like this.
Turn the sun down. I'm sleeping.
No,
Honey,
it'd be like this.
honey.
Look, I'm here. I'm here.
I'm right off camera. I was right here.
And so that, like in each of those moments, because I was there and I was in the room,
bad.
I was literally like scrolling through to see if I was even in the background. Like every camera pan, I was literally like one chair over. I don't know. It was funny. There's a few more episodes. You know, I was at all these events. Maybe I'll be blurry in the background somewhere. It hasn't happened yet.
I was a little disappointed when.
I know.
Have you gotten to the Bryson episode yet?
Yes.
Okay. I was a little disappointed that they never brought up the salty balls thing when they were.
I was waiting for it.
Me too.
How could they not?
That was so big.
Why on earth would they barrel through and stick to the storyline of Rory McIlroy and Bryson DeChambeau coming down to the wire, missing the U.S. Open by one putt? Rory McIlroy's 10-year return, finally winning a major. He does, and he drives off fast in his car. And you're not going to mention salty balls? What a waste.
I think it was weird that they didn't have, or Xander Schauffele maybe chose not to do it, or why he wasn't a part of it, winning 2 majors that year.
That was the other one. When Bryson came over to give Xander that hug, I'm not kidding. I was standing just behind where the camera was pointing. I have the receipts to prove it.
Nobody cares.
All I'm saying is
all.
my feature in full swing, even though the editing
Almost
screwed
happened.
me a little. Okay, the editors, I don't know if they have a vendetta against me. I don't know if it's something I said. You know,
I will say too,
I don't know.
a lot of content creators.
I
Dude,
know.
Dan Rappaport
There was a lot
is
of us on there.
Dan
Some of us got edited out.
Dan Rappaport is all over it.
Here's what I'll tell you, though. A little bit of a peek behind the curtain. Dan Rappaport.
That wasn't enough.
No, Dan Rappaport is with Scratch now. That's what Scratch is owned by the same company that does the Full Swing series.
Okay.
Oh, gotcha.
So
That's cool.
There is some in-house
That's
activity
good
there. Very good for him.
Yeah,
I think it's a cool
Hey,
opportunity.
It was cool to see Garrett Clark in there too. And then, good old Paige Sporanic.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Nice. Who's going to be co-hosting with Dan Rappaport for the Creator Classic coming up at TBC Sawgrass in just a few weeks.
And what did she grow up with?
Xander Schauffele.
Not Schauffele, but also not Cantlay, Wyndham Clark.
Oh.
I think
Because I know she went to the same school and like the golf team and stuff at the same time as Xander Schauffele.
yeah. And then I think whatever Bryson did with I think because never mind. I was thinking something completely
What
different.
episode are you on?
I finished it all.
You wow. Holy
Yeah.
cow. You just binged.
Dude, I was watching it here taking notes.
You don't have kids. I got to have Bluey on half the time.
Hey,
I
that's
don't
a
know.
great show.
Did you
Can I-
binge that too?
Can I
No.
just say that,
Yeah.
when I saw this segment come up in the show notes, I was so excited for it,
I'm so
to
sorry.
talk about it. And
And the fact that
it's
we even
just
put it in the show
ruined
notes
it.
is just terrible.
It was terrible.
Yeah. This is so bad. And I really should be more embarrassed.
You really should be. I'm
Uh,
agreeing with that.
Either way.
I will,
All right,
I will
anyways,
give my
on to
Who gives a shit?
right.
Okay.
you're in the middle of the season, right?
I just finished episode 4.
Okay. You're in for a little ride for the next next 3 episodes.
Well, I'll be looking out for.
You're like, oh, I was
Well,
in that episode.
you-
I
you'll
was
know-
near
there.
that.
I
You'll
was-
know why, because it gets a little weird.
Okay. I'm excited.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I would say that's enough about my Netflix
Thank
debut.
God.
We'll step away from that. Speaking
It's
of
brutal.
Cognizant Classic, used to be called the Honda. That's coming up this weekend.
Say the full name.
The Cognizant Classic in the Palm Beaches. Is it really?
Yes.
Oh my God. You have to say all that?
Jesus.
What a waste of time.
In the Palm Beaches.
That
Like
is-
on the PGA website, it says Cognizant Classic in the Palm Beaches.
wow. All the beaches and hoes.
What is that because there's Palm Beach, something?
Yeah,
like,
because
is-
I
is
don't
it
know,
like-
because there's like Palm Gardens and Palm Beach. I don't know. Are there
In
more
the
than one
Palm
Palm
I thought there was a
Beaches?
character limit on tournament names.
Yeah, like just the
Obviously
embroidery
not.
fees alone for the volunteers and stuff. You can't do that. Gonna go broke here. Here's the thing. I would make predictions. However, I have no clue who's even playing in it this week. So it's tough to make guesses.
You know who is?
Jordan Spieth. I
Yep.
saw your notes. I cheated. I will say it's good to have him back. I like watching me some Jordan Spieth.
Mhm.
I do feel like the wrist surgery helped. He seems like he's playing well. Maybe I'll go get one. You know what I mean? And like an elective surgery. Hey, can I get the Jordan Spieth? It worked out well for him. Maybe a little impromptu wrist surgery will improve my game. I don't know. Something to consider. Rich doesn't think this is a good idea. Rich is checked out from the full swing.
It's so
Yeah.
bad.
Bullshit.
Like my mind's still. I'm looking up to see if I can see who's playing this weekend.
And you just can't give a shit.
And
You gotta
no,
go.
I want to care about this part.
Okay.
I just still.
You got to go to the PGA website and go to field.
volunteer sponsor. Yeah,
But-
it's
I'm excited to watch him.
Here it
You know,
is,
it's the first time he's playing at the PGA National as a pro.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
It seems odd.
Do you know who has hole-in-ones at the PGA National course?
I'm not sure. Hey, Gary, could you tell us who? Never mind. Go ahead.
list 'em all.
Bobby Fairways, and Joey Colcutt's. Same hole, like months apart. That's when last. Yeah.
You know, they.
Ricky Fowler's going to be playing.
Ooh.
Ooh. You know, they have a plaque at Augusta where Bubba Watson hit out of the woods, that crazy hook shot that went on the green, ended up leading to him hitting the, winning
That's
the
at the
Masters.
Masters, right?
Yeah, there's like a plaque on the ground. So like as you're walking the grounds, you can go stand where that happened. It's kind of a cool thing. I think PGA National needs a plaque for Bob Does Sports Gang and their hole-in-ones.
yeah.
I think that needs to be immortalized and something that everybody can look back on historically.
Did you see that they made
Zach
an
Johnson, Jake Knapp. They're both playing.
ad? Zach Johnson, not really much.
Yeah.
Minwoo Lee.
You know
Is
what?
he going to get some crazy irons going this weekend?
Prediction.
Go ahead.
Minwoo Lee's got the dub in the bag.
You're taking Minwoo?
Mhm.
Nice. I like
All
it.
right, I'm taking Jake Knapp. It's been a little over a year. I'd love to see him.
Shane Lowry's playing.
I switched to Shane Lowry. I'll ride Jake Knapp out, if you know what I mean, and go for him on the win here.
All right.
I don't know what you mean.
You know. Yeah, now. Rich, who you taking?
Sepp Straka.
Oh.
Ranked number 3 overall.
Sepp Straka won the tournament where I got this Dan's Golf World sign at the
I
John
love
Deere
the story
Classic.
on the Dan's Golf World sign.
You know what? I'm going to save it. It's a great story. I'm saving it. I think we've told it before, but we're saving it for the retelling.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was a
Saving
cool
it.
time.
Be a lot more interesting than that full swing comments.
You know,
It's terrible.
I again should be
Oh,
really
segment.
disappointed in myself.
You should
And
be.
yet I'm
I
not.
thought it was entertaining.
Thanks, Josh. You know, Josh, your paycheck will be waiting
Andrew
for you this
Novak.
week. Because you
Michael
agree with me.
Kim. There's some good players. We got, as far as the rank goes, 3, 12, 13, 16, 17. Looks like all of the 20s are going to be there.
Who's 3?
3's Sepp Straka.
He moved all the way up
He's
to
number 3 in the world right
Yeah.
now? Or number 3 in FedEx Cup points?
Number 3 on the ranking of this website.
Oh, nice.
of the PGA.
So I'm assuming a PGA because of course Live doesn't count.
Yeah.
It doesn't. It just says.
You know what?
ranked.
That dude shaves his head. He looks like Dana White now, and he is just playing some real good golf.
That's wrong.
Yeah, but on
Okay.
that website, it's
On
right.
this
According to
website,
that
it is.
website.
That's got to be FedEx Cup points.
Okay.
That could be.
Because he took what did he take a second and a win?
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
We need to keep like a board up on the wall. I forget things so quickly. I don't know. All right, guys. I think we've covered it all.
Yep.
And then some, according to
Mhm.
my full swing story. That was highly irrelevant and unnecessary, but I'm glad I did. All right, guys. I don't know. I think that's it.
Yeah.
For everybody else at home, we'll see you again next week right here on the Dan's Golf World Show.